talking about Big Bang Zhang versus Joyce in a rematch of an upset win by Big Bang Zhang over Joyce earlier this year. Oh, who was going to win this fight on September 23rd? I believe that's this weekend, if I got my dates correctly. But regardless of which, who exactly is going to win this fight, and how is this going to turn out? Well, in my humble estimation, I got Joyce losing again to Big Bang Zhang. Again, we've spoken on this briefly on this show in past episodes, but I got Big Bang Zhang absolutely demolishing Joyce again in this fight with the same tactic of utilizing the big left hand and just spamming that all night long. Because understand this, if you didn't catch the first fight, it's very simple. First fight, they get into the ring, stand in the middle of the square circle. Big Bang Zhang throws left hand. It lands. Big Bang Zhang gets an idea and throws another left hand. It lands. And then after that, Big Bang Zhang throws a big left hand every single moment that he can at any given point in time, at all points of the fight, and just spams it repeatedly, constantly, up until he gets Joyce into a TKO stoppage because he swells up his eye. Zhang's a southpaw. Joyce ain't fought against a southpaw yet. Joyce never moved his head. Joyce doesn't have any lateral movement whatsoever. His defense has been shoddy and subpar at best because it's always just been hold up and guard or just tank shots because, again, I'm a juggernaut. I can just walk through whatever I want to and just eat whatever he needs to eat from the opponent, and then boom, land the big jab or the big straight right and just go for broke. As time goes on, as the fight goes on, up your output, up your aggression until you reach full open valve, full outright offensive capabilities if you're Joyce, and then again just sustaining that level of output all 12 rounds. He does have a gas tank. Joyce does have a gas tank for all of the lack of speed that he's got to him and lack of good defensive ability that he's got to him. His game plan is very simple. Either block everything, eat shots, and then just overwhelm you with volume because I'm the juggernaut. And once I get moving, I can't be stopped. That's been Joyce's MO. And because of that, it's won him a bunch of stuff, but now he's going up against somebody who can bang with Joyce and has speed to be able that you can't compete with, as well as legitimate power that can affect the seemingly unaffectable. Now you're in trouble. And what happened? You lost. And the same thing's going to happen in this fight. I don't see Joyce having the ability to be able to overcome Big Bang Zhang because I don't see him being able to add anything else to his game plan. He is 37 years old, and at this point in his career, he got so much success from being as one-dimensional as he is that at this point in time, he won't be able to ingrain that out of him. He won't be able to ingrain that out of him. The biggest thing that's going to lose Zhang this fight is stamina. Because when Zhang got tired in their fight with Joyce, then Joyce actively has some success. Especially when Joyce started picking up the pace. Absolutely. But with that being the case, even after Joyce picked up the pace, Zhang still was able to land the big left on a consistent basis. Rock him, nearly knock him down a couple times. Stun him, hurt him, make him back up, which I've never seen Joyce do, and then end the fight. So because of that being the status quo for Zhang, again, who had just gotten better in terms of his stamina, because let's face it, before that fight, in the fight that he got robbed of, it was a situation where stamina was one of the biggest reasons why he was in trouble in that fight. And then in this fight against Joyce, the first time they fought, stamina started affecting him again. It was better than his previous fight, but it still had an effect on Zhang, and yet he still won. Now, if Zhang is committed to getting his stamina up and up even more, and he's actively turned that into an even less of a glaring weakness, that's all he needs. It can still be a problem, but it's not as big of a problem as it has been in his career. And just consistently still land the big straight left, because he still got the power, still got the hand speed, still got all that stuff. One of the faster punch throwers in the division with his hand speed. It is elite by the division standard of heavyweights. It is deceptively fast. That is absolutely true. Again, Andy Ruiz probably has the quickest hand speed in the entire division outright. But Zhang is up there. Couple that with the again legitimate power that has shown to crack the uncrackable nature of Joe Joyce and stop the juggernaut in its tracks. I don't think Joe Joyce is gonna have any answer. I don't think he won't be able to adapt in time. He won't be able to make changes that actively stay true to his person as the fight goes on. Because if he gets in trouble again, what's gonna happen? Old habits are gonna rile back up. Now again, if Joyce is able to actively overwhelm Zhang and just from the jump get at him, smother him, and use his outright aggression from the jump rather than waiting, and it be effective, okay, we can see a different story. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I really don't think it's gonna happen. Mainly not just because of everything else I just said, but the defense of Zhang on Joe Joyce was incredible. It was legitimately incredible. Catching punches left, right, and center, moving his head, slipping just enough to get out the way, and then landing the big left consistently. It was great. It was great. Nullified all of Joe Joyce's offense. So again, Zhang has Joyce figured out, and Joyce is just trying to get with the concept of fighting a southpaw, let alone a skilled southpaw like Zhang. So because of that, I don't see any way, shape, or form that we can see Joyce winning this fight. So I got Big Bang Zhang by KO once again. Probably earlier than what we saw in the last fight between them two. Potentially. If we can very well see an earlier stoppage if we see a Joe Joyce that has not adapted. 6th round. Or let's say he has adapted. 9th round stoppage. Or 10th. If he doesn't adapt, which most likely is going to happen, same outcome. If he does adapt, it's still not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Because as much as you are able to have output, Zhang, outside of stamina, has you figured out in every way, shape, or form. So unless stamina all of a sudden bottoms out for Zhang again, and he gets even worse than his improvements that he showed in the Joyce fight, yeah, then okay, yeah, I'll give you Joyce. But outside of that, nah, Zhang's winning this by KO in either the 6th or 9th round.